My ex-wife caught me flirting with my neighbor. Then, she knocked on my door and tears the smile disappeared from my face, the exact moment I looked across the street and saw my ex-wife standing beside her car. Her eyes met mine for only a second, but that second felt long enough to erase 3 years of pretending. I'd moved on. She had just watched me laughing with my new neighbor, and before I could even raise a hand, she quietly turned away and drove off. I thought that would be the last time I'd ever see her. I was wrong. Just before sunset, someone knocked on my front door, and when I opened it, there stood Rachel, clutching her keys with trembling hands, tears streaming down her face. Before we continue, if you believe kindness can heal broken hearts, that forgiveness is stronger than pride, and that everyone deserves a second chance, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in hope, leave a kind comment, and subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories that remind us how powerful compassion can be. My name is Nathan, and I lived in a quiet neighborhood outside Asheville, North Carolina. After my divorce, I convinced myself the hardest part was over. Rachel and I had spent 11 years together before slowly becoming strangers, living under the same roof. There wasn't betrayal or hatred between us, just exhaustion, missed conversations, and dreams that quietly drifted in different directions until neither of us recognized the marriage we once cherished. When the divorce papers were signed, we hugged instead of arguing. That almost made it hurt even more. For nearly 3 years, I built a peaceful life. I fixed old furniture, worked remotely as a graphic designer, and slowly learned how to enjoy evenings by myself. A few months earlier, a cheerful neighbor named Grace moved into the house next door. She had recently lost her father and was renovating the family home herself. We often talked over the fence, shared gardening tips, and laughed about our terrible attempts at growing tomatoes. For the first time in years, I felt comfortable opening my heart to someone new, even if nothing serious had happened between us. That afternoon, Grace jokingly thanked me for helping carry heavy boxes into her garage. We laughed longer than we probably should have. That was exactly when Rachel happened to drive by. She had only come to return a box of old family photographs she had recently discovered while cleaning her attic. Instead, she watched me smiling with another woman before quietly leaving without saying a word. I had no idea what she had seen until the evening knock at my door. Rachel stood on the porch wearing the same calm expression she always tried to maintain, but her eyes betrayed weeks of hidden exhaustion. She apologized for arriving unannounced and handed me the box of photographs. Then, she admitted something that completely changed the direction of that day. A month earlier, she had lost her job after the company she worked for unexpectedly closed its local office. She had hidden the news from almost everyone because she felt embarrassed. Her savings were disappearing, and she was preparing to sell the little house she had fought so hard to keep after the divorce. She confessed that seeing me laugh with someone else had made her realize something she had been avoiding for years. She wasn't crying because I seemed happy. She was crying because she suddenly understood how lonely she had become. She missed having someone who truly cared whether she made it home safely after work. Someone who noticed when she looked tired. Someone who remembered the little things. She didn't come asking to get back together. She simply admitted she no longer knew how to carry every burden by herself. Her honesty caught me completely off guard. We spent hours looking through old photographs spread across my living room floor. There were birthday parties, camping trips in the Blue Ridge Mountains, Christmas mornings with our parents, and pictures of our first tiny apartment where we could barely afford furniture. Looking at those memories reminded both of us that although our marriage had ended, the kindness we once shared had never completely disappeared. The next morning, I introduced Rachel to Grace. Instead of awkward jealousy, something unexpected happened. Grace immediately welcomed her with warmth, invited her for coffee, and even connected her with a local nonprofit that helped experienced professionals find new employment opportunities. Watching two women who had every reason to feel uncomfortable instead encourage one another reminded me that compassion often arrives when we least expect it. Over the following weeks, Rachel slowly rebuilt her confidence. She attended interviews, volunteered at the community center while searching for work, and rediscovered the bright optimism that had first made me fall in love with her years ago. Eventually, she accepted a position, managing community outreach for a local hospital, a role that perfectly matched her caring personality. I couldn't have been happier for her. As for Grace and me, our friendship naturally grew into something deeper, but only after enough time had passed for every heart involved to heal honestly. Rachel even laughed one afternoon and admitted she had completely misunderstood what she saw that day across the street. Instead of feeling regret, she now felt grateful because that painful moment forced her to ask for help instead of suffering in silence. Before we reach the end of this story, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a moment that completely changed your perspective on someone you thought you understood? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might encourage another person who needs hope today. Life doesn't always give us second chances to restore old relationships, but it often gives us new opportunities to become better people. Rachel and I never became husband and wife again, yet we became something equally valuable. Two people who genuinely wanted the best for one another. Sometimes healing doesn't mean going back. Sometimes it means walking forward with forgiveness in your heart and gratitude for the chapters that shaped you. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that kindness can survive even after heartbreak, please support the channel by liking this video, subscribing for more uplifting stories, and sharing it with someone who needs a reminder that hope is never truly lost. Sometimes, the most meaningful knock on your door isn't asking for another chance at love. It is simply asking you not to let compassion disappear. And when we answer with kindness, every heart involved becomes a little stronger.